And one of the things that I watch all these politicians, and politics is it's not a really clean profession to me. It's so doggish, man. It's so cutthroat. It seems so hypocritical at times. And everybody, if you're in a certain party, you all feel the same way. And I just don't believe that to be true. I just don't really believe that. I think that people in politics take stances with their group so that they can have power as a unit. Nobody agrees with everything anybody does. I don't have yet to meet that person. And so I don't want us to take a page from politics. And I'm talking about forgiveness, this whole thing about they going in people's past and they holding them accountable for it. I want us to remember something. Remember when you were little and you were taught the Lord's Prayer? And there's a line in it that says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. The other version is, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. I was taught to believe that what that meant was when you say, God, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I was taught by my mother, who was a Sunday school teacher, that meant that we are going to trespass. She said, son, you are going to cross a line of where you're not supposed to go, be, do, or see. And you are going to cross that line. You are going to have to ask God for forgiveness for those trespasses. For all the times, little Stevie, that you will cross that line into territories and things that you're just not supposed to do. So when you go to God and you ask God for forgiveness of those trespasses, the next line says, as we forgive those who trespass against us. So God holds us accountable. This is what my mother taught me. You may have a whole nother interpretation. That's you. I'm just telling you. So she said, when people do you wrong and cross your line, the way you forgive them is the way God is going to forgive you. She said that's what that line means. She said, so if you want to ask God for forgiveness, you're going to have to be more forgiving. She said you can't hold grudges and you can't hold people to their mistakes and ask God to forgive you for your mistakes. She said that's what that line in that prayer means, and you say that every night because you're going to do a lot of wrong. And Lord have mercy, was she right about that. So in light of what my mother taught me as a little boy, and I've tried to carry that on, and I haven't always been good at it. I want you to know I held something, malice in my heart, for a guy for 7 years. For 7 years, I held malice in my heart for this guy. Probably not that long, but I think it was about 7 as I remember, give or take a few. But I had to one day forgive him. And I learned on the day that I let it go, the relief that I felt. And as I've grown older, I've learned that forgiveness is not for the other person. See, you sitting up here, I ain't gonna ever forgive him. I'm not gonna ever let them off the hook. What they did to me, I'm gonna make them pay. So now what it caused me to do was, it caused me to have to put thought and energy into that. Every time I heard his name, every time I heard he was over here, over there, every time something happened, man, I had to conjure up his name and what I was going to do when I saw him. Bishop Jakes told me, not forgiving a person is like you drinking the poison, waiting on them to die. So what I'm saying, all of this is to say this. We need to be forgiving as people. We need to understand that the past transgressions of people, who are we to hold people accountable to that? That's the amazing thing. Who are we? You ever heard the phrase, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones? You know, so I'm sitting up here going, all of us are going to be in need, are currently in need, or will need, or have needed God's forgiveness. but we can't seem to muster up none for nobody else. So I keep hearing my mama all the time, forgive us our trespasses, and we forgive those who trespass against us. I want us to not take a page from politics, because politics has political reasons for bringing up a person's past. They want a seat in a house. They want to try to get control of this state, and they keep bringing up stuff from people's past to bury them currently. That's a dangerous slope we've got on. So for those of us that's not in that business, stay out of that business. Be forgiving, because you too are going to need forgiveness one day. And God is going to forgive you the same way you forgive others. So we all need to be a little bit careful. Just think about that in your day to day. Okay? Just wanted to